I think we're all familiar with this game right here. Helldivers 2, a third-person sci-fi shooter where players play as an elite force, aka Helldivers, to eliminate alien threats from taking over the universe. It sounds like a fun and compelling game on the outside, and for the most part there doesn't seem to be any.
However, there's one more thought on how they both could be spreading, and that's through the control of Super Earth.
Any attack itself is used as a justification for endless war, and whether or not that attack even happened doesn't really matter.
The government of the entire planet essentially controls every single aspect of every citizen's life. All their houses, cars, and even outfits are exactly the same.
Secrets. Well then, so much for a simple game. How's it going, everyone? I'm Stragsy and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a bit of a weird one. Actually, I'm terrified to even make this video in fear of it being labeled as treason to the Super Earth Ministry. Now, if you don't know what Helldivers 2 is, then what the heck are you playing? This game has been on the up and up in the last 2 months. It sold 8 million copies and has a peak player count of almost 500,000 players. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I too have been playing the game every now and then, and it's truly as fun as everyone says it is. But today's video isn't about how fun the game is. Oh no, we're diving, get it, into something much more fascinating about the game. I have found out that there is a secret war being fought within Helldivers, and it isn't exactly what you think. The war, which I labeled secret, but it's more like not so secret, isn't against alien threats, but against the quote-unquote betrayal of the Helldivers' own forces. Now, before you rush to the comments to bash me for the quotations, just hear me out. Before I get into the secret war though, we need to go over the very little lore the game has. I watched a lot of different videos on the lore behind Super Earth's ongoing war and found some facts that the people need to know. What the people are told about the Terminids is far from the truth. In the game, there are certain missions for certain planets, and one of those missions is to destroy illegal broadcasts for both factions. However, the Terminids' quote-unquote illegal broadcast says something quite interesting when you look at it. It reads, "Wake up, people, the bug menace is a Super Earth construct." But not only that, it also said this threat is about oil. The government made this. Oil? What oil can they possibly be talking about? Well, when the bugs die, their body turns into an oil-like substance known as element 710, or oil upside down in numbers. This oil is actually what Super Earth uses to fuel their ships and weapons. We know this is true since one of the other missions is to extract the fuel and pump it into an ICBM rocket. And since exploration and spreading freedom is what they're all about, they decided they need to harvest the stuff. In the game, the service technician talks about there being farms made for E710 harvesting. This was back during the first Great Galactic War, where the Terminids apparently used to look way different. Through genetic modification and years of evolution, they became the current Terminids we know today. Now yes, this does give Super Earth a bad look, but it doesn't evidently prove that the bugs are innocent in all this. Despite some of this being fact, a lot of it's just theoretical. But it's clear that the Super Earth Ministry is just trying to remain in control, like a powerful government would. Think about all the things that are presented and ask yourself, could it be true? Is Super Earth the reason these bugs were spread out? Is it because of their greed? The whole war between us and the Terminids is just a theft of resources, which is something more and more of our very own Helldivers are coming to realize. But of course, spreading the truth isn't always going to be as easy as you want it to be. Which is the war, the not-so-secret war I mentioned in the start. A war that isn't fought against aliens or robots, but against ourselves. A divide has been created between the patriotic and the truth-seekers. Obviously, this isn't the first video to be made on something like this. Heck, just about every lore video I found for this game was against the democracy of Super Earth. Within the comments of those videos, we see the loyal supporters responding with allegations of betrayal or treason. Some of them claim to report these messages to the Ministry of Truth themselves. Funny enough, a similar incident occurred with the cyborgs in Helldivers Original. The cyborgs were people who opposed the Super Earth regime and wanted to separate themselves from it. They ultimately occupied a different planet known as Cyberstan and made mechanical alterations to their bodies, giving them the name cyborgs. Super-Earth's response to their treacherous actions was an attack on their species. It's actually said that they are confined within the mines of Cyberstan, probably hard at work. What kind of work? Mining for ores, which is another mission that the Helldivers have to do. Speaking of the original cyborgs, I have yet to mention the automatons in this video, mainly because the lore behind them is pretty much non-existent. Let's be honest, this game isn't known for its storyline. The best I could find about these robot retaliators is that they might have been built by the cyborgs to free them from the control of Super-Earth. In the beginning, the automatons were pushing their forces towards Super-Earth, but recently they seem to be going more towards Cyberstan, which, as mentioned before, was the planet that the cyborgs occupied when they claimed independence from Super-Earth. There are theories that the automaton are just the cyborgs who fully upgraded to robots, but I think it's more likely that they were built by them. A bit of information that supports this is a tweet from the Helldivers 1 account, which is a binary message that reads, "We, the collective from Cyberstan, unanimously assert our independence from Super-Earth. We have the right to defend our home from brainwashed Helldivers. Our children, the automaton, will not suffer as we have under the oppression of Super-Earth." This isn't direct confirmation since it was made in 2021, but I think its relevance still applies to the current automatons. As for when they decided to attack and battle against Super-Earth is unclear. The takeaway is that the automatons are also in this war because of the faults of Super-Earth, a planet simply separating from the regime just to be met with brutal attacks on their people, eventually leading to captivity where they have no choice but to suffer from the grueling work the Ministry is forcing on them. This second intergalactic war is seen as Super-Earth versus the two opposing factions, but in reality it's Super-Earth invading planets and hijacking resources while silencing those who seek to reveal the truth. The outcome of forcing this lie on people is only going to end in a civil war. People are already going at each other online for rebelling against their democratic leadership, but in the future, we could see it turn into something far worse. But I am here to tell you, my fellow rebels, we cannot let them silence us from revealing their evil intentions. And before I end the video, I wanted to mention how amazing the community engagement for this game is. Players are choosing whether to rebel against democracy or remain a loyal patriot, and they're interacting online with other people who oppose or support their ideas. You know, the game might not be an RPG, but damn, there is a lot of roleplay outside of it. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to go down below and drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, leave a comment and let me know, are you against the managed democracy, or is all of this just treason? Anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.